The Stalker. Samantha Williams was a young and pretty woman. Men were always asking her out on dates. Samantha did not want a boyfriend. She nicely said no to every man that asked her out. This broke many men's hearts. However, most of the men would just move on. One day, a man asked Samantha out for a cup of coffee. When she declined, the man was very angry. He began following her everywhere she went. Every time Samantha looked around, he was hiding nearby. Samantha was terrified. She was being stalked. Samantha called the police to ask for help. "Don't worry," they told her. "You're probably just imagining everything." 2 days later, Samantha went missing. The ugly sister. Lisa grew up in a huge family. She had 6 older sisters. All of them were very beautiful. This made Lisa feel very bad. She knew she looked nothing like them. Lisa had even heard people say she was the ugly sister. As teens, the girls spent every weekend out on dates. Lisa always stayed home alone. Her sisters spent their days combing their hair and putting on makeup. Lisa spent her days reading and studying. Her sisters laughed at her a lot. As adults, all her sisters got married young. They all had handsome husbands with no brains or jobs. Lisa went to college. She became a rich scientist and traveled the world. She was the one laughing now. In love with his best friend. James and Susan grew up together. They had always been best friends. Now, they were going to turn 30? So much had changed. Susan was about to get married. James had introduced Susan to her fiancé. He knew they would get along great. It made James very happy to see Susan happy, too. However, James felt very strange. Susan's wedding was near. Suddenly, James started feeling very jealous. "What have I done?" he thought. After 20 years of friendship, James realized something. He was in love with Susan. It was too late to do anything about it now. Looking for a roommate. Ronald was moving to college. He needed a place to stay. Every apartment around the school was very expensive. "I'm going to be a homeless college student," he joked. Ronald thought of a solution. He posted an advertisement online. He wrote, "Looking for roommate around college campus. Must be neat and sane." Within 1 day, he had 20 replies. Ronald didn't really want to share an apartment with a stranger. However, this was the only way he could afford anything. "I just hope he's not dirty or crazy," he thought. After interviewing everyone, he picked a guy he really liked. They ended up being friends their whole life. The reunion. Chris Miller hated his college life. He was very fat. All his classmates made fun of him. It was hard for him to lose weight. People wouldn't stop laughing at him. After he graduated, he finally had time to go to the gym. He worked out every day. Eventually, Chris was hired to be a swimsuit model. He was very successful. 15 years later, his college reunion arrived. No one was able to recognize him at first. He looked very fit and handsome. He couldn't recognize anyone else either. They had all gotten fat and ugly.